September 1939. Hermann Göring commanded Germany's economic planning for war. Intelligence estimated Allied production at 12,000 aircraft annually. The actual number exceeded 96,000 by 1943. This is a World War II decision story about Germany's failure to anticipate Allied economic strength. Historians still debate why this miscalculation persisted so long. German planners assumed quick victories would prevent extended industrial competition. They based military strategy on defeating enemies before economic advantages materialized. World War II would prove this assumption fundamentally wrong. By 1941, production disparities became measurable and significant. Germany began rearmament in 1933 under Hitler's direction. Industrial production focused on military equipment immediately. By 1939, Germany produced 8,295 aircraft annually. Steel production reached 23.7 million tons that year. The United States produced 47.9 million tons of steel. Britain added 13.2 million tons to Allied capacity. German economic planners knew these numbers. But they believed military action would neutralize this advantage. The strategy required defeating enemies within 6 to 8 months. Extended conflicts would favor nations with larger industrial bases. General George Thomas led the War Economy and Armaments Office. His reports documented Allied production capabilities. Hitler and Göring received regular briefings on economic comparisons. The 1939 Polish campaign lasted 5 weeks. Germany demonstrated military effectiveness through rapid victory. France fell in 6 weeks during May-June 1940. These successes reinforced confidence in the strategy. Britain remained undefeated but appeared isolated. Operation Barbarossa began on June 22, 1941. Germany expected victory over the Soviet Union within 4 months. This calculation proved incorrect by December 1941. The United States entered World War II on December 11, 1941. American industrial capacity now joined Allied production. U.S. steel production reached 75.5 million tons in 1941. German planners faced unprecedented economic competition. But the situation was more complex than simple numbers suggested. German leadership made critical assessment errors in 1939. They assumed Allied production would remain at peacetime levels. Intelligence reports underestimated expansion capacity significantly. Göring's economic staff projected modest Allied increases. They calculated Britain could produce 15,000 aircraft maximum annually. The United States received minimal attention in early planning. German analysts believed American industry focused on civilian goods. Military conversion would require years, they assumed. Hitler expressed skepticism about American industrial commitment. Albert Speer later documented these miscalculations extensively. The assumptions shaped resource allocation and strategic priorities. Germany expanded production but not dramatically. But planners missed something critical about industrial mobilization speed. Allied production expanded rapidly after 1940. Britain produced 15,049 aircraft in 1940. That number reached 20,094 by 1941. The United States manufactured 5,856 military aircraft in 1940. Production jumped to 19,433 in 1941. Germany produced 10,826 aircraft in 1941. The gap widened throughout 1942. American production reached 47,836 aircraft that year. British output totaled 23,672 units. Germany manufactured 15,409 aircraft in 1942. Combined Allied production exceeded German output by 4.7 to 1. Tank production showed similar disparities. The Soviet Union produced 24,446 tanks in 1942. Germany manufactured 9,300 tanks that same year. By mid-1942, a hidden problem emerged with resource allocation. Why did German economic intelligence fail so comprehensively? Several explanations compete in historical analysis. Some historians emphasize ideological bias affecting objective assessment. Others point to organizational problems in intelligence gathering. A third perspective focuses on deliberate minimization of threatening information. The answer would reveal fundamental weaknesses in German strategic planning. German intelligence operated through multiple competing agencies. The Abwehr handled military intelligence under Admiral Wilhelm Canaris. The SD managed political intelligence under Reinhard Heydrich. These organizations rarely coordinated effectively. Each agency provided different assessments to leadership. Hitler received conflicting reports about Allied capabilities. Göring dismissed information contradicting his optimistic projections. The stakes were about to escalate beyond anyone's initial calculations. What most historians agree on is that multiple failures compounded simultaneously. German intelligence organizations lacked systematic industrial analysis capabilities. They focused on military formations rather than production capacity. Economic assessment required specialized expertise German agencies didn't develop. Allied deception operations added confusion to German calculations. Verify source. Some scholars suggest certain German economists privately reported accurate assessments but were ignored. Albert Speer documented these problems after becoming armaments minister in 1942. One German logistics officer, Oberst Walter Nering, noted the disparity in his 1943 reports. He calculated that Germany would need to triple production just to maintain parity. His superiors dismissed the assessment as defeatist. The numbers themselves told an undeniable story about industrial capacity. Production disparities grew throughout 1943 and 1944. American aircraft production reached 85,898 units in 1943. Germany manufactured 24,807 aircraft that year. The United States produced 96,318 aircraft in 1944. German output totaled 39,807 units. Combined Allied production exceeded 160,000 aircraft in 1944. Tank production showed similar patterns. The United States built 29,497 tanks in 1943. Germany produced 17,300 tanks the same year. Soviet production added another 24,089 tanks in 1943. Allied naval construction completely outpaced German submarine production. The United States launched 1,949 naval vessels in 1943. Germany commissioned 270 U-boats that year. Strategic bombing targeted German industrial centers from 1943 onward. Production increased despite bombing but never reached Allied levels. By late 1944, the truth became undeniable about economic realities. The economic miscalculation affected every aspect of German strategy. Military planning assumed material superiority or at least parity. Reality delivered increasing material disadvantage from 1942 onward. German forces fought with numerical inferiority in most engagements. Training suffered as replacement production couldn't match losses. Luftwaffe effectiveness declined due to fuel shortages and aircraft losses. The Kriegsmarine never achieved submarine production targets. Ground forces received inadequate tank and artillery replacements. Allied forces operated with material abundance by comparison. This changed battlefield dynamics fundamentally. German tactical excellence couldn't overcome material disparities. The failure revealed systematic problems in strategic assessment. Economic intelligence required specialized analysis German leadership ignored. Ideological assumptions trumped objective data repeatedly. Post-war scholarship identifies this as a critical strategic failure. Germany's economic miscalculation shaped World War II's outcome fundamentally. Superior Allied production provided decisive advantages by 1943. The gap widened throughout 1944 and into 1945. German industry performed efficiently given resource constraints. But those constraints grew from initial planning failures. Leadership refused to acknowledge economic realities until too late. Speer's reforms increased production but couldn't close the gap. The United States alone outproduced all Axis powers combined. Soviet industrial evacuation and reconstruction succeeded beyond German expectations. British industry mobilized more effectively than German planners predicted. These miscalculations cost Germany any chance of sustained military competition. Modern economic historians study this case extensively. It demonstrates how strategic planning requires accurate economic intelligence. Production capacity determines long-term military sustainability. Verify source. Some recent scholarship suggests certain German industrialists recognized the disparity earlier but lacked political influence. To understand what happened next, watch our analysis of Allied strategic bombing campaigns. What World War II decision should we examine next? Let us know in the comments. This decision remains one of the most studied moments of World War II.